Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are Group 4. We will present you our presentation with the topic European Green Deal, and the title is Mitigating Climate Change, the Impact of European Green Deal. And the members are Nabila, Hana, Bintang Aurelia, Munifah, Nurul, Anesta, Marsyadina, Rifdah, and Salma, Amatul, and I am Nabila, Hana. I will explain the background of European Green Deal. Climate change, caused by human activities and environmental damage, is a global issue that impacts everyone, regardless of where they live or their country's development level. Managing natural resources sustainability is essential for economic and social progress. While the European Union has reduced greenhouse gas emissions by 23% between 1990 and 2018, carbon dioxide (CO2) levels have risen by 50% since pre-industrial times. This shows that despite progress, more action is needed to combat climate change effectively. The European Union, or as known as EU, has taken the lead in addressing this challenge by developing policies that balance environmental stability with economic growth and social well-being. Its main goals including cutting emissions, increasing the use of renewable energy, and improving energy efficiency. The EU also supports a circular economy where waste is reduced and resources are reused efficiently. Industries like electronics, textiles, and construction are encouraged to produce durable and recyclable products. Moreover, the EU participates in international climate discussions such as COP conferences and provides financial help to developing countries, committing $100 billion annually to support climate adaptation and mitigation. The European Green Deal, or as known as the EGD, introduced in 2019, is the EU's most ambitious climate plan. It aims to make Europe the first climate neutral continent by 2050 and reduce emissions by 55% by 2030. The EGD covers clean energy, sustainable industries, biodiversity, and agriculture. With legally binding targets to ensure progress, it also helps vulnerable regions through mechanisms like the Just Transition Fund. So, the EU invests in innovation, clean energy, and green technologies while ensuring a fair and inclusive transition for all. With tools like the Next Generation EU Recovery Plan, the EU aligns economic recovery efforts with climate goals, establishing itself as a global leader in fighting climate change and creating a sustainable future. So, aligned with the introduction, the following are the research questions for this paper. First, what are the policies and strategies within the European Green Deal, or EGD? Second, what are the impacts of the EGD on climate change? Third, what are the challenges and criticisms of the EGD? And fourth, what are the global implications of the EGDs? And aligned with the research questions, the following are the research objectives for this paper. First, to identify the policies and strategies of the EGD. Second, to examine the impacts of the EGD on climate change. Third, to analyze the challenges and criticisms of the EGD. And lastly, to explore the global implications of the EGD. Thank you. And next will be explained by my friend Salma Amatul.
Hello, my name is Salma Amatul and I will explain about policies and strategies European Green Deal, or EGD. The European Union is implementing the European Green Deal to achieve sustainability and quality goals. EGD aims to make the EU a climate change neutral region by 2050, focusing on reducing greenhouse gas emission and developing new energy source. The EU has launched REPowerEU to reduce fossil fuel impact and promote renewable energy. The emission trading system, or ETS, is implemented to encourage investment in technology and innovative energy. The EU also supports developing nations in addressing climate change. Union Europa focus on mitigating and adapting to climate change, aiming to create a resilient and sensitive economy. The European Union has implemented comprehensive strategies to tackle climate change, primarily through the European Green Deal, this initiative aims to make the EU climate neutral by 2050 by focusing on reducing greenhouse gas emission, improving energy efficiency, and diversifying energy source. And the key elements include Repower EU, launched in 2022. This initiative aims to reduce reliance on fossil fuels like oil and gas while promoting alternative energy sources. And the second, emission trading system or ETS. This is the system adjusts emission quota to encourage investment in innovative technology and cleaner energy solution. And the third is Renewable Energy and Efficiency Directive. Policies like Directive 2009 focus on promoting renewable energy use and enhancing energy efficiency. They also emphasize international cooperation as in its leadership role in 2015 Paris Agreement. It supports global climate initiative, particularly aiding developing nations in adapting to and mitigating climate change effect. This effort extends across industries such as construction, agriculture, and forestry to build a resilient, environmentally conscious economy. Overall, the European Green Deal is a cornerstone of the EU's commitment to addressing global environment challenges and achieve sustainability equal world.
Hi everyone, my name is Marsyadina Rifdah, and here I want to discuss about how European Green Deal impact the climate change. So we all know that climate change is becoming a big issue around the world. So therefore, the European Union is taking bold steps through this European Green Deal, or it's also called EGD. The EGD aims to make Europe as a continent free of greenhouse gas emissions. To achieve this target, the EGD has a strategy that covers various sectors such as energy, transport, agriculture, or even industry. The EU member states must also create their own plan called National Energy and Climate Plans to make sure everything is on track. With this, the European Commission can monitor each country's progress. EGD focuses on three main things, which is energy transition, energy efficiency, and circular economy. It encourages the shift from fossil fuels to renewable energy such as solar and wind. As a result, greenhouse gas emissions are reduced and clean technology innovation is increased. In 2012, the EU set a target to reduce emission by 8% comparing to the gas emission in 1990s, and by 2019 the EU will reduce emission to 24% below the emission in 1990s, while now the EU has managed to reduce emission by around 47% compared to 2005. And this reduction is largely due to an increase in renewable energy production and efficiency improvement in various sectors. So, indeed, there's a considerable gap between EU Commission's reduction target and national plans. That shows that while progress have made, further efforts are still needed to meet the ambitious climate target set for 2030 and 2050. Overall, EGD is an important step that the European Union is taking to address climate change. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Munifah and I will explain about challenge and critics of the European Green Deal. So, the successful implementation of the European Green Deal will face a number of challenges. One of them is the gap between industrialized and developing countries in the European Union. Countries like Poland that depend on coal for energy face difficulties in achieving the lofty goals of the European Green Deal. Transitioning from fossil fuels to renewable energy requires high costs and structural adjustments. Yet the required resources are often lacking in countries with weaker economics. Economic and social dilemmas arise due to the many jobs associated with the fossil fuel industry. European Green Deal implementation is also constrained by different energy policies in European Union member states. Some countries rely on conventional energy sources, and this difference hinder the ability of member states to collectively achieve European Green Deal goals. The cost of the green transition is also an important concern, with many countries believing that existing funding sources are insufficient. Large investment in clean technologies, industrial innovation, and renewable energy infrastructure are needed. But this may be difficult for countries with limited resources. Other challenges include opposition from some fossil fuel related industry sectors, geopolitical complexities, and the risk of rising energy prices and economic stability. This to success, European Green Deal implementation requires a holistic approach and cooperation involving economic, social, and environmental aspects.
Hello everyone, my name is Bintang Aurelia, and here I want to explain about the global implication of European Green Deals. So far, the EU has actively participated in international agreement to drive climate change at the global level. The AGD strengthened the EU's position as a leader in the face of climate change, with the aim of making European the first carbon neutral continent by 2050. This policy has a huge impact on the world as a whole, especially on the EU's position as a leader in climate action. With this program, the EU aims to reduce greenhouse gas emission by 55% by 2030 compared to 1990 and reach carbon neutrality by 2050. European climate law makes this target binding. The EU also employ diplomacy push other nations to change their climate pledge and set high carbon emission and sustainability requirements, which indirectly affect global standard. AGD impact international trade with key European nations. European protect AGD through trade policy with developing nations for imports from other countries with lower environmental standard. The Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, or CBAM, tax carbon. The worldwide environmental norms that affect national carbon regulation can also be ignored. The ability of emerging countries to adjust to European policy is affected. To cooperate, low-emitting countries like China and Russia must change their manufacturing practice. This AGD will become the environmental policy of revenge for many countries. Countries like Japan and South Korea have adopted a carbon target and initiated energy transition. AGD also integrates environmental, social, and economic factors to reduce language barriers through language mobility through electricity and social issues to ensure healthy communities. However, there are challenges in implementing AGD, such as a lack of researchers that make countries grow, a lack of financial and technological resources to implement policies, and a need to tailor policy to local contexts. Worldwide impact, EU leads global climate action through policy, diplomacy, and high standard, while CBAM policy shape international trade. AGD also inspire other nations to adopt ambitious laws. However, there are challenges, especially in ensuring inclusive and safe global transportation.
Okay guys, I will present the last part to you. The conclusion regarding the European Green Deal and dealing with climate change shows that the AGD is an ambitious move of the European Union to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050.
through economic reforms, energy policies, and environmental protection. This initiative strengthens the transition towards renewable energy, encourages resource efficiency, and sets stricter standards for emissions. Despite facing challenges such as high costs and resistance from several sectors, AGD has become a global model for climate exchange by balancing economic development and environmental sustainability, and its success will depend on effective implementation, political support, and international cooperation. Maybe that's all of me. Thank you.